It all begins with words uttered by individuals, repeated by others, and became a philosophy, an ideology.
In a new movie out this month, Never Again follows a Holocaust survivor and a former radical Islamist as they come together in a cutting-edge, feature-length documentary exposing and combating the alarming increase in anti-Semitism around the globe. The film's director, Rick Eldridge, along with one of his main subjects, Kasim Hafiz, join us today. So let's get started. Where did the title Never Again come from?
Well, never again is a phrase that since the Holocaust, the Jewish people have taken on, that will never allow this to happen to our people again. You see that all over Israel. But we have a question mark at the end of that in our title, which is the idea of really, could this happen again? And that's what we explore, because with what's happening in our world today with anti-Semitism and the things that are going on, the question is, could this atrocity really happen again? So that's the time.
And it's a reasonable question, especially assuming the fact that 45% of Americans don't even know that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. How is that even possible?
It seems so far removed for people that it goes from being history to something that happened to kind of out of sight, out of mind. It's sad, but I think that's what it comes down to.
Well, you mentioned earlier that this is something that's very relevant right now. It raises the question, is this something that could happen again? I'm sure that's part of the reason we feel like this is a good time to release a film like this, documenting the Holocaust. But what are some other reasons we feel like this is time appropriate?
Well, I think with any cultures, and America itself is a melting pot, as you know, of culture. And we see even in our world today what's happening with people not understanding, not identifying with each other. The throughput of the whole story is love, not hate, and an acceptance of people for who they are, the uniqueness of who they are.
What would you say is being done about increasing anti-Semitism and violence against Jewish people all around the world?
So unfortunately, statistics in the United States show that anti-Semitism is at its highest rate since statistics were ever recorded in this country. And it's growing throughout Europe, Latin America, and sadly, not enough is being done.
And now, after making a feature film with a Holocaust survivor, what have you learned, in your opinion, about the best way to combat hatred?
Understanding, again, as Kasim mentioned, the culture and the struggles that each of us have, and then accepting that we're all created under God's image as people that can love and accept each other. It's so evident, I think, in looking around our world today, that we need to see that and hear that message. And that's why when we started writing and putting this together, that whole theme of love, not hate, just seemed to, and this was really before a lot of the riots and things that we've seen in America happen. So it was almost, call it that, but prophetic, that it happened at a time when we were able to tell this story. And now this becomes a parable for what's happening in our world. And I think what the answer really is. So I think it's very important that children, that families see this together and begin to realize that there's a bigger world out there than just our little unit or just our little neighborhood or our schools or our communities. And that, again, that message of acceptance and loving of all cultures.
Never Again will be in theaters nationwide on October 13th and 15th. For tickets, go to neveragainthemovie.com.